Why hello there, fellow weaponsmiths, Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story Primitive Survival. Episode 66, Crafting Weapons for Hunting. Okie dokie. So don't burn the hell out of my feet. Let's quench. But now, every chain that we need for chainmail, minus, maintenance, of course, is done. And hopefully we can celebrate with some mushroom stew. So the 11 for the chest piece, and the... Wait, did I get the math wrong? Iron chain pants. No, I got it right. I just panicked there for a second. Okay, so we're just waiting on the leather now. Wow, that looks really unappetizing. Mushroom sadie. More than likely, the chickens are probably hungry, I'd imagine. An iron shield would be nice too. Nice, but possibly and potentially unnecessary. Just given the tier of enemies that I typically have to face. They just... Once I'm in tier 3 armor, there's like almost no need for... Oh, can you bird brains chill? There's almost no need for anything more, I'd imagine. Okay, wow. Alright, the second generation, or the generation 1 is now all egg laying, I think. Yeah, these pullets. No, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just a hen going overboard. So I think we still only have one rooster. Yeah, no, we only have one rooster. Okay, so we got 2 days, 3 days. Got it. And all of that vegetable stew, I've got another hit point as a result, sadie-wise. Okay. So having crossed that that milestone of making all of the iron chain, I think I want to pair that with a bow. Because I haven't made a bow yet. Eventually we'll have like a bow case and all the equipment for the bow. But for now, we just want a bow. So with the dry bow stave I have here, we can make a recurve bow. And a recurve bow is... That isn't the... What does the bow case do? It lets you, like, have your weapon on your belt for, like, quick access. I don't want to make a recurve bow. I want to make a regular bow. Recurve is the different trait. Longbow is what I was thinking of. So I think I've got the pelt. I don't know how much dry sinew I have. So right now, make chain, armor, and a bow. Before I start using up any of the flax, let's see if there's dried sinew. Oh no, I definitely don't have enough. I have 4. Okay, so this is definitely a flax twine thing. That's fine. I mean, it's not like I'm hurting on flax. It's fine. So, for our longbow, we'll need, let's do it out of maybe beeswax, flax twine, and pelt. Or fat. We could do it out of fat. Yeah, I'll use fat. I got a lot of fat. Well, no, I use more fat for axles than beeswax. So speaking of beeswax, I might at some point want like a barrel down here. It doesn't actually need to be in the food storage though. Honey doesn't spoil. But if we've just about filled a bucket, we might want a larger container for it. Okay, got the beeswax. How much is needed for mead? Well, you lose a lot. Actually, for me, it's a 1-to-1, but I might want to keep it for fruit satiety reasons. For jam and the berries, because that's another thing that we can do once the berry bushes yield, is to make jams. There we go. Longbow done. Sweet. Because honey is useful, so you can make medicine out of it, poultices. You can juice the honeycomb. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And then honey itself can be turned into... Weird. I don't know why it's not showing the jam recipes. But it can be turned into jam, where you have honey plus fruit in a pot equals jam. And that's a good way to preserve fruit, because fruit in Vintage Story rots very fast. So one of the ways to preserve fruit so that it doesn't rot is to turn it into jam, and then you can have fruit satiety whenever you need it. Not just whenever you have ripe fruit, because ripe fruit is a bit of a rarity. Oh, we're getting close. Can't wait. Alright, with the bow that we got, we can also pair that with some arrows. So I know that I, just for the giggles, I made some like bronze arrow. An arrowhead, rather. Here it is, tin bronze arrowhead. So, in order to make the arrow, we also have feathers, and luckily I've been culling the chicken pop, so we have feathers to work with. And I can demonstrate the bow here in a moment. So it's much faster to pull back than a javelin, and it will travel much farther. And then there's a break chance, depending on the quality of the arrowhead, for whether it breaks. So one of the reasons why I stopped making a bunch of bronze replacement tools out of the iron is I plan on making a bunch of iron arrowheads out of the iron bits, more than likely. Also, if you want me to check on the fruit trees, let's see if any of them have done anything. They're all establishing. I don't see any that have run through the check of whether they were going to survive or not. They're all just in process. Yeah, it's slow. It is very slow. Is it time for another Gen 1 call? Yeah, perhaps. We don't need eggs as much as we're just trying to... Yeah, I guess let's do it. So, these will be Generation 2. So all of the immature... I mean, there's an argument to be made that, like, waiting until they reach maturity makes more sense. But I'm just not going to. I gotta be careful where I aim. I don't want to hit the hen. Although I guess the hen doesn't really matter. Well, it does. Because I need it to sit on the eggs. But the pullets don't. Flat. Okay, that's one hen. So I think I have 2 hens. And then this pullet can go. Maybe I'll even get rid of one of the hens. So you, my dappled hen. Yeah, you're panicking. Correct. No, rooster, don't stand here. Okay. So we're down to a breeding pair. And that's only for this hen to sit on these eggs until the next generation is born. I need 2 hens? I don't think so. Because we already have the eggs for the next... Oh, well, I have 2 egg boxes, but I don't care if all of them are born. Because the rooster, the Gen 1 rooster, can just continually be our Generation 1 rooster. It's the hens that matter. The hens pass on the domestication. The roosters don't matter. In fact, I could have kept a wild rooster if I wanted to. I just don't think it's needed. And yeah, I'm like wasting blood here, but I've just not been really using her blood. It's heavy. Careful, hen, or I'll punch you. The animal domestication, I've been, like, running out of, I don't have, like, a lot of grain left. They've eaten quite a lot of it. I mean, I still have a lot of rice grain, but they have eaten a lot of it, so... That is an effort to, reduce the amount of feed that they are, requiring. Alright, that part's done. I wanted to wait for, like, the entire row to be done of flax. Because I'm in no real rush to continue farming. And it does look like the wind's back up. I feel like we just have windier nights. It's been at least a noticeable pattern, I think. So I wanted an extra bucket, so we can have a dedicated, 2 dedicated buckets for the butchery. Can I wrench to rotate the drive shaft? I don't believe wrenches work like that, no. And I'm just waiting to process the other 2 chickens, because these are just about bled out. So once I've got the chickens done, we'll have plenty of resources for feathers. But I think I don't intend to use the bow until I have like a bow case for it. And the reason for that is inventory space. I don't want to monopolize my inventory space with like even more slots dedicated towards more ranged weapons when armor plus falx and maybe 1 spear is good. So instead, my plan is to have like just a tin bronze spear or 2, and that will allow me to catch whatever animals are fleeing with decent efficiency. In fact, a thrown spear does more damage than pretty much everything else in the game. There's also the possibility of making bone arrows, too. The strong bones can be made into those types of tools. Alright, how's the effort to fill up our vegetable satiety going? Oh, nice. It's nearly at full. That's awesome. So if we're going to make a tin bronze spear, and if you're wondering why tin bronze not iron, iron spears don't exist for like balance reasons, I guess. Let's heat this up to workable temp. And now make spears. And this is so that once we have all, because you know this thing is flint. I just toss that away. I don't care about it. This is so that once we've got our armor, we can start hunting more efficiently with thrown weapons and making sure that the the fleeing animals can't outrun us. All right. I'm so bad at finding the thing I want to make. Where is spearhead? Arrowheads. Axes, cleavers. I legitimately, is it not? Oh, there it is. It looks like shears. That's what throws me. And having like 2 of these to throw in pursuit should be enough. Just to land killing blow type thing. That would be cool with the smithing mod plus, and I'm sure it's like difficult to code in, which is why it doesn't exist, is being able to choose where you add the nuggets. Maybe that would be like too much of a shortcut hack. Alright, there's one spear. And that has an attack power of 7.5 when thrown. Versus the Fox, which is 5 when swung. So it does 50% more damage. Which is going to be really helpful for, like, finishing off the Fleer. No, I didn't mean to do that. Thank you, game, but no, I don't want just an in-process spear burning a hole in my pockets. And yes, I am aware this takes up just about the same amount of room. The other thing that I will say about arrows is recovering them is real annoying. Like, trying to find an arrow in underbrush, good friggin' luck. A giant javelin, though. Yeah, that kind of low-key stands out a bit. So it's one of the reasons why I've never really taken too strongly to bows in Vintage Story, just because like arrow retrieval's rough. Like another one of the games I play, Icarus, you can have, with the right attachments, your arrows be highlighted so you can actually physically see them in the world, and therefore you can retrieve them. Yeah. But needle in a haystack comes to mind exactly when you're trying to find your arrows in Vintage Story, unless you don't miss, which I don't think is a reasonable expectation. Whereas like these bad boys, yeah, I'll be able to find them. And they have like reasonable enough durability that if we only use them for like fleeing animals for pursuit, they should last a good long while too. Alright, so we got our spears. We got the bow, not that I will eventually use it. I'm not gonna like make it and never use it. In fact, maybe I'll find a target for it now. But we got our bow, we got our falx, we got all the chainmail, all the chains for the chainmail, and at this point we're reasonably well equipped to deal with whatever challenges are thrown our way, whether it's like swarms of boars or hyenas or the occasional bear or whatever. Alright, that has high K. Got it. And I think I am gonna harvest the crops now rather than wait. But I'm not gonna like put down new high fert or anything like that. This is just like, oops, quick crop rotation. Just to keep things growing. I think that's all the mature crops we got. There's some weird holes here and there. And everything I just pulled up was K crop. So, unless I want to, I guess I'll do some sunflowers for N. But I'll probably need to replace some soil. So once I harvest that, I'll put sunflowers in. Or I'll try to remember. And then I'll do 3 pineapples. And then the rest of this stuff will need to be rotated. not what I meant to do. Where'd my lantern go? Why is the farm glowing? Have I harvested any pineapples? No. Pineapples in game, much like in real life, take hell long to grow. I mean, in real life, it's like years until, but at least we don't have to wait full years in Vintage Story. That's like... Oh, you know what? I had a bunch of amaranth. I could have just done... yeah, that was dumb. You know what? I'm going to do cassava in these new spots. Because I should have peeled the cassava for vegetable sanity and, like, forgot. And, because I would love to be able to plant stuff in the farm that, that yields vegetable sanity. And I just don't have a lot of stuff in here that yields vegetable sanity, so I need to do a better job of that. So I have some cassava growing back here, but more and more of the farm will be dedicated to cassava so that I can make, like, cassava pies and stuff like that. I'm going to take some of the grain over to the farm now. Over to the coop. Now that I'm only feeding 2 individuals, it should be a little easier to, like, get them fed, but I'm sure they're going to go through it pretty quick. But yeah, look at all that flax. I don't plan on touching it until I've got a project in mind, but it's a bountiful sum, that is for sure. And to fulfill my promise, I will find something to shoot an arrow at before end of stream. Hopefully not our friendly neighborhood bear, though. Oh, you really haven't eaten a lot of portions. Yeah, chill. Two days. Okay, they're all full up. And today is October 8th, so October 10th is going to be the birthday of Gen 2. Generation 2 chickens. Unless I'm somehow wrong. I believe I called all the Gen 1 chickens before those eggs were laid. So I think they have to be Generation 2, but I suppose there's room for error. Chickens are going to rot out on the hooks at this rate? Yeah. No, I remembered. I looked down at my meat bin and was like, oh, chickens. And that one was a little fatter. Plus, I need to move the blood barrels, too. What a lovely oh, it's full. Well, time to go make my donation to the blood god. Imagine trying to explain that to, like, an FBI raid. It's like, sir, why do you have barrels of blood? Well, you know, just, make a sausage. You know, totally normal, non-sociopathic stuff. Alright, to fulfill the promise, because I did do the whole bow and haven't shot it yet, let's go ahead and fire at something. I wonder if I can fire at a fish, because I know where some tuna is. But alright, let's go this way until I find something that I can shoot at. I think there's some wild chickens if I go far enough this way as valid targets. And then I also have the spear as well. Have I marked the antelope? The gazelle? Maybe? It wouldn't be that close, though. I don't think there's any, like, large animals that, besides the boar, that are that close to the base. Except for that one bear, but I don't want to harm the bear. One would imagine if this was a real, like, primitive survival type situation. How about well, rat snakes. Rat snakes are good snakes. I'll leave those alone, too. But one would imagine in a real primitive survival situation, a primitive survivor would not willingly pick a fight with a bear, even something like a sun bear, unless they're starving and desperate for food, because, like, it's a bear. Don't mess with it. No more explanation needed. Found gold. That's hilarious. And like a big chunk of it. Good lord. That's a hella swole bird. Hauling that much gold into a little hidey hole. I'm gonna go with it was a raccoon or something. I don't know. Alright, animals. I need something to shoot. And cheers, by the way. Thought there'd be victims for target practice up this way. I could have gone across the water where the hyenas are. In an effort to save me time, I think I'm wasting more time. Just how it goes. There's fish. That'd be a funny target. Pretty hard one, too. Alright, this coast sucks. I'm gonna turn around. Let's go a little inland and find something. Vegetable satiety is now my highest satiety. Nice. It's the hardest to fill, so now that it's full, it's I mean, I did use up all my soybeans, but like putting smoked meat in a pie or something like that would work. Thought I saw something moving. This is the most, like, devoid of animals swath of the world. Just because it's the desire radar detector. It knows when... Oh, here we go. Alright, so when you're hunting with a bow, it's in your best interest to be sneaky, and I don't want to hunt where the underbrush is, so I was hoping that there was, like, chickens or something over this way. That is the cutest little, like, kapok grove ever. With these unique old kapok logs. This was the place I was thinking about before. Alright, let's go back to that, like, rooster. Oh, there it is. And I missed. Three times. It ain't my forte, but I can take another shot. As long as I can track my quarry. Okay, went that way. Trying to get like a line of sight without getting too close. Be a little tricky. Well, this feels bad, but there we go. I did it! Woo! It was like jammed up and stuck. There you go. Our first ranged kill. Alright, let's bring this bad boy back. Hang him on a hook and call it good. The real advantage of the arrows, I would say, over the spear is range. Arrows can travel much farther than the thrown spear, although at a loss of damage. I'll also say it's very hard to hit anything worth a damn at super long range. There's only, in my previous runs of Vintage Story, there was only ever really one time where I used a bow for real. And that was because it was a boss fight against something that was flying around, and like using anything but a bow really didn't make a lot of sense. And that was like the only use case I ever felt. Now, this is personal preference, of course. If you love the bow, like I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying arrows are expensive. They're hard to find. They're a little hard to use. So for those reasons and others, I find that just like chopping up everything with a Voxel works fine for me. Fish in a barrel or rooster in a corner, same difference? Exactly. I'm glad we're on the same page. I'm not even going to bother collecting the blood. I guess I will. I want to appease the blood god after all, right? But yeah, there we go. The longbow and in all of its limited glory. Doing my best to satisfy you all. And let's wrap this up. So replacing more of the flax with cassava. Done. Put away the grain. It's funny to hear them crowing. It's like, yep. You're mine. I captured. Well, in fact, I bred you. That sounds horrible. I'm phrasing. Take that back. But yeah, I decided those animals would survive. Well, having made all of the chain for the chain armor and worked on a huge batch of leather, in fact, even more coming through, a huge batch of leather and all the chain for the chainmail. Next stream will almost, if there is a next stream, of course, that's up to you guys and your polling. Next stream will almost certainly net me a full suit of armor. But that, friends, is where I am going to leave off for today. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story Primitive Survival, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhodamont.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Seraphs.